Now at 5, a big mess downtown from the side roads to the interstate as NDOT closes a busy stretch of I-65. Coming up, we'll give you a look at the traffic and the best ways to avoid it.
And a weather impact alert tonight as a freeze warning is issued. I'll have your forecast.
Jumping into action.
How the universal sign for help saved a Central Indiana victim of domestic violence. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
It's 5 o'clock. The rush is on, but not on some roads. Right now, there is a major closure in the heart of downtown. You're looking live right now. And this closure along I-65 is causing a lot of confusion and frustration for thousands of drivers.
Yes, this is I-65 on the near north side. Last night, NDOT shut down all the southbound lanes from West Street to Alabama.
All day, we've watched the confusion, cars going the wrong way, and lots of backups and traffic jams. So let's get right out to our Marion County reporter, Lauren Kostick, who is downtown right now.
Lauren, what are you seeing?
Well, Anna Felicia, the biggest problem is right here on West Street. That's because it is the last exit these drivers can take before they hit that closure on I-65. And you could tell tons of semis in there. Also, this is where the ramp is to access I-70, and that is also closed tonight. But that's not all. This closure is also causing a huge mess here on the downtown roads. This is 10th Street here. A lot of these cars we've watched as semi drivers kind of blocking the road here, all of them trying to find a way to get to the interstate. And let me tell you, people, they are not happy about this. Wednesday morning, a big mess as drivers tried their best to navigate around the I-65 closure. These cars even forced to make a U-turn.
A lot of patience. A lot of patience.
Vicki Washington was one of the drivers stuck in this West Street gridlock.
And now it's like, it's discombobulating. Because I got to watch the signs because I'll end up lost.
Well, my thoughts on the construction in Indy is it's crazy.
Wanda Shearer is a DoorDash driver in Indy. She's now brainstorming ways around the construction mess to avoid a late delivery.
Causes some extra time and a little bit of money out of my pocket.
NDOT expects this closure to last 16 days. During that time, crews will work on bridge patching and joint repairs, with some workers getting started as early as Wednesday morning. This closure impacts the southbound lanes of I-65, with lane restrictions starting at 29th Street and coming to a halt at West Street. That means drivers can no longer access exits like Meridian, Michigan, Ohio, and Fletcher Avenue. You also can't get onto I-70 eastbound and westbound this way, causing traffic to bottleneck at West Street and MLK, an area already known for its backups.
It's not as bad in the morning, but like driving home at like 4 or 5, it's miserable.
Others saying it's just part of living in Indianapolis.
It's ridiculous, but gotta get to work, gotta get home, so.
That is true. You got to get to work, you got to get home. And I know NDOT does have detours posted right now to get around this closure, but my best advice is really just to use the maps on your phone. That way you can have a personalized route to avoid the closure and also avoid all this traffic here downtown. But in the meantime, Anna, Felicia, I guess we just got to buckle up.
That's right, and budget some extra time as well. Lauren, thanks so much. Now, she had a lot of information there about the different ramps and the ones that are impacted. So if you want to find the very latest, we have it all compiled for you.
Yes, we do. Just head to our website or scan this QR code you see on your screen. It'll take you to WTHR.com/scene on 13, and you'll find that story.
A weather impact alert because we are expecting our first freeze when late tonight and early tomorrow morning. The impact, low temperatures near or slightly below freezing for several hours early tomorrow morning. What you can do now is get ready for the cold weather. National Weather Service, this is new information from earlier today, now has all of central Indiana under that freeze warning as we expect lows near 30 in Muncie, 31 Richmond and Columbus, 30 in Lafayette, and 32 degrees in Greencastle. Need the heavy coat again early tomorrow morning, but more sunshine than cloud cover for tomorrow afternoon. That's going to help those temperatures after a really cold start, eventually into the low 60s tomorrow, and that's the beginning of a warming trend. I'll have that in the 7-day.
All right, Angela, thank you. And now's a good time to make sure you have the live Doppler 13 weather app. You can track the falling temps with it. You can also sign up for notifications. Then we can let you know when there's a freeze or warning issued in your area.
Tomorrow, the panel of jurors selected for the Delphi murders trial will be sworn into service officially in Allen County.
The judge had set aside 3 days to select the jury, but as we brought you on 13 News at 5 last night, they completed the jury selection in just 2 days. This is bringing us one step closer to the start of the trial, more than 7.5 years after someone killed Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi. Richard Allen is the man accused of killing them. The trial is expected to last several weeks before the jury will decide if Richard Allen is guilty of their murders. And we're helping you get caught up on all the major moments since we first learned of the girl's death in 2017 and the investigation which followed.
Just check out our Delphi Trial special. It's on WTHR Plus. It's also available right now on demand.
WTHR Plus is a free download on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku. So all you have to do is just search WTHR in your app store.
Tonight we're learning that a hand signal used to get help if there is a domestic violence situation actually worked when it was put into place right here in central Indiana.
A woman used the signal, which has gained traction on social media in Beech Grove this week. Our Marina Silva spoke with the medic who recognized the sign just in time.
Rodney Ham has been a paramedic for 20 years and has responded to several situations involving domestic violence. But this one was a little different. He was sent to the Churchman Woods apartments for a medical alarm going off in one of the apartments. When an older woman answered the door saying she didn't realize it was going off, he noticed a young woman looking very upset, but couldn't say anything. Instead,
she was able to get her hand out the door, and she did a hand gesture, which of all things, I learned on TikTok about it. It's a hand gesture that means they need help.
now, while that hand sign hasn't been officially recognized as a call for help, it's been widely spread on social media for people to know when they see that sign, somebody needs help. Ham and his partner radioed for police after recognizing the signal. Court documents say when they were in the lobby waiting for police, the medical alarm went off again.
We're assuming like she pulled the alarm to get help because the lady that lived there didn't know the alarm was going off. So all I can think of is the young lady who needed help pulled the alarm to get help.
Beech Grove police were able to get into the apartment. The young woman told police they had returned from Chicago, but when she tried to leave, her fiancé and his mother wouldn't let her. At some point, she said her fiancé's mother physically restrained her and her fiancé assaulted her. And police were able to see scratches and bruises on the young woman.
I know she wanted out. I hope she never has to go through anything like that again.
Her smart thinking, pushing that medical alert button, and using a hand signal likely saved her. In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
If you or someone you know is experiencing any kind of domestic violence, there is help. You can contact the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233.
The Marion County prosecutor will now decide whether or not to file charges against a person of interest in the hit-and-run death of a local teen. Metro Police telling 13 News they interviewed the person of interest in the death of 14-year-old Wilberto Rivera III. However, they have yet to make an arrest. Someone crashed into the teen while he was riding his bike last Thursday night along North Cumberland Road, just north of 10th Street.
A Plainfield man accused of domestic battery is dead after a police chase, which started in Hendricks County and ended on Indy's east side. Brownsburg police tells us their officers were trying to stop 55-year-old Everett Mason around 2 o'clock Monday morning. They said he refused to comply, threatened them, and led them on a chase from Brownsburg into Speedway and then into the east side of Indy. Officers say they then found his car crashed into a tree on South Emerson near Brookville Road. They then performed CPR on him, but he died at the hospital. Brownsburg Police Chief says they're reviewing the situation. Well, tonight we're hearing from the attorney of a former IU men's basketball player accusing a longtime team physician, Dr Bomba Sr., of sexual assault.
The player is among those who allege the same thing happened to them from Dr. Bomba Sr. Our Karen Campbell's been following the story. She joins us today in studio with the very latest tonight. Karen.
Yeah, so this third person who has come forward chose not to identify himself. He goes by John Doe, and I spoke with his attorney who's based out of Dallas, Texas, Michelle Simpson-Teagle. Her firm will investigate and represent him in a potential civil claim against IU. And Teagle says she wasn't made aware of another lawsuit that would be filed by two other former IU basketball players. And after reviewing their suit and speaking with her client, she says the details match up. Teagle hopes to work with other attorneys from Delaney & Delaney here in Indianapolis on this case.
They requested an expedited deposition of Dr. Bomba Sr., and I think we will seek to join in that in some form, even if we haven't filed our lawsuit yet. We would, of course, want to be present and participate in that in some form because our interests are similar to the other survivors who filed their lawsuit yesterday.
And I reached out to IU, who referred me to an initial statement they released in September. So coming up at 6 o'clock, you'll hear what else Teagle says she wants to focus on while representing her client in this case.
Karen Campbell reporting. Thank you. And an Indianapolis man will now spend 6 years in prison after taking a plea deal in a woman's death. Deja Morse died about 2.5 years ago in April of 2022 in a car crash on I-65. She was in a car with 3 other people who were taking her to the hospital after someone shot her in a strip mall parking lot near I-465 and West 38th. Well, Herschel Anderson pleaded guilty to reckless homicide and carrying a handgun with a prior felony conviction in her death. Prosecutors dismissed the murder charge against him as part of the plea deal.
Putting your pronouns in your email signature.
The lieutenant governor candidate who says he will fire the state workers who want people to know how they identify and the legal implications which could follow. We got it for you.
Clear and cold tonight with lows in the 30s. First freeze warning for all of central Indiana in your forecast.
The Miami Dolphins come to Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend for Week 7 of the NFL regular season. Anthony Richardson should be back. We'll have much more on that ahead of this matchup coming up for you on 13 Sports.